will the 49ers turn their season around like last year?
Okay.
They had a slow start last year too. They were 3-5. They could win this week and be 4-4. Do you think that they can this is 49ers football, a slow start and a strong finish?
It's an interesting question. Again, context. If you're a 49er fan, you might be thinking, this is how we play. We start slow. We were 3-5. Nothing to worry about. It's the exact same as last season.
Take a deep breath. Yeah.
It really boils down to, is this the exact same as last season? And I would say it's not. And I would say 3-4 is not a positive sign. Now, I do believe they'll beat the Rams. And I think 4-4 is mediocre. I actually think they can win that division because it stinks. But I don't think that means they're a good team.
Seattle's better than we thought, although the Niners have beaten them already.
They beat them. So let's say they're in contention to win that division. But it doesn't matter because the division is way weaker than we understood. Okay? Is 3-5 or 4-4 a good start? No. And I'll tell you why. Because what different from last season is one thing. I think the league has figured out Kyle's offense.
I think so too.
And I think that's a difference.
That's a big difference.
I think Jimmy has regressed.
He's having his worst season ever. He didn't have an off season. He got hot last year and played well in November, December. I don't know if that's going to happen this year.
Yeah, not his fault. Also, the defense, now it's true, they have a lot of injuries and some of those guys are going to come back. That doesn't guarantee they're going to be good.
Every week, there's 3 more guys who get hurt. Juszczyk broke his finger. Debo pulled his hamstring, and Dre Greenlaw pulled his. Every week, there's 3 guys coming in, and 3 guys coming back.
And poor Jimmy Ward is playing with a cast. I mean, I haven't talked to Jimmy, but it must not be easy. Did you load at that thing that's on his arm? I mean, it's like a club.
Yeah. So, how do you? Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, I don't think it's the exact same as last year. They may go on a winning streak. They may. But they're going to lose a lot more games that you think that they're going to win. They may make the playoffs, although that's iffy, but then they'll go nowhere. This team is not that good. It's not like last year's team.
Yeah, whether or not – I agree. They could win this division with 9 or 10 wins. They could get in the playoffs. This team is going nowhere for the same reason they didn't win the Super Bowl last year or 3 years ago, whatever. They needed to change something. Kyle understood that. He couldn't get that across to his team. And they resisted. They really wanted to prove that they were good enough. You had that opportunity in Miami when you lost the Super Bowl. You were up 10 in the fourth quarter. You could have sealed the deal and been champions, but you didn't. And so something needed to change. You lost by 11 in that game. So something needed to change. And the change was trading DeForest Buckner. Yeah, it was his fault that they lost the Super Bowl. Damn it, DeForest. Why did you play better? Jimmy, you stay. I mean, I'm sorry. So this is, look. Jimmy was asked directly this question, hey, you guys started 3-4 last year. How confident does that make you right now? And he's like, it's a different team, very different coaching staff. And I hadn't heard the players mention that, but it is a much different coaching staff. The entire offensive coaching staff, save a couple of people, is different this year than last year. And it's not just Mike McDaniel is gone. It's the assistant head coach, John Embry, and the wide receivers coach, Wes Welker. The rookie wide receiver, Danny Gray, is horrible. He looks horrible. And maybe he would have done better with Wes Welker. I don't know. So you got a lot of first-year assistant coaches have to save the season right now. You got a bunch of players sort of frantically coming back from injury just to play at 80% just to keep this season afloat. I mean, Nick Bosa didn't look like himself in the last game.
No,
he didn't.
He lined off offsides twice.
In a row. Yeah, I mean, so what they're doing is they're throwing these guys back onto the field without any practice. It's like, Nick, can you suit it up? I know you didn't practice this week. Are you 75? Can you please play? Our season is on the brink of collapse. And he's like, yeah, of course, I'll play if you take care of me in a couple of years when it's time to pay me. But yeah, I mean, these guys are coming back. They're playing, but Jimmy Ward didn't look his best. Travarius Ward got beat a lot. Bosa got exposed in this game. What? I don't know. I don't see how the Niners are going to have to get healthy and consistently healthy, and so many things have to go right. And Christian McCaffrey can only do so much. Yeah.
So we agree. This 3-4 may not be as strong as the 3-5 they had last year. We agree on that. I want to ask you a question. Were you exaggerating, or did some journalist actually say, how confident are you that you can come back from 3-4?
I don't want to say that. I don't remember the exact words. And the guy that asked the question is a good friend of mine. He didn't mean it like that. But it was. I understand the question. It's a topic on a lot of people's minds. Hey, the Niners did this last year. I mean, is this something that they're comfortable in? And pretty much every player was like, no, this is not how you start a season. And the fact that we did it, I mean, the fact that they've done it 2 years in a row is a bad thing. You know, so they got lucky last year.
They were candid about that, and then they let the cat out of the bag about the assistant coaches. I.e.,
right.
We don't feel that the coaching staff is as solid as it used to be. We don't feel we're getting the support that we're getting.
That's a dysfunctional team. That's the players saying, "Well, we don't have the same confidence in the coaching staff we used to."
That's right.
They used to say, "Oh, Kyle's the best play caller in the league. We'll figure this out." They don't say stuff like that anymore. In fact, Jimmy. It was a few weeks ago where he got caught on television saying your plays suck, man. That's a difference.
And then he tried to walk it back. Say during a game, you say a lot of things. You do, but you don't say that. You know what I mean?
You don't say that.
And what's more, if you say that and you get caught on television, you pay a price.
It's true.
You get called into the coach's office and he really goes after you. Who the hell do you think you are? Right?
Right. There's also one more thing. People, I think, romanticized last season. Like, they started 3-5, but then they figured everything out and they just powered through. Like, they were very close to missing the playoffs. They had to go into LA and win on the road week 18 in overtime. It was the one time they've ever come from behind in the fourth quarter and won a game. They were this close to not even being a playoff team last year. And the reason they were a playoff team is because Deebo Samuel had one of the most remarkable seasons I've ever seen. He really carried the team in a way I've never seen a running back or wide receiver do it. He threw a touchdown pass in that week 18 game. He's hurt now. He's a hamstring injury. He's another guy who missed the entire offseason because he was waiting to get a contract. He's not in his best. He's not in the shape he was in last year. There are a lot of differences between this team and last year's.
And Iggy, one of the reasons he has a hamstring is because he's not in the shape he was in last year.
Exactly.
It goes together. And again, I don't want to belabor it, but I do want to mention it. When he was holding out, I compared him to how Jimmy acted. And Deebo Samuel was a prima donna. He did not act well. And it's coming back to haunt him.
It is. Absolutely. He's not having the season he should be having, and the Niners are paying for it.